in the second game. Tigers won the opener here 12-2. Frank Larry recording the victory. The first win for him in his last 5 decisions. And the loser was Ralph Terry. Pete Burnside pitching to Gil McDougall. And the first pitch of the game is in there for a called strike. 0-1. Here's the pitch. It's low outside for a ball. 1-1. Time call for a moment by plate umpire Al Smith. I think Red Wilson had asked for it, just his mask. The lean left-hander fires away. McDougall takes high outside. A 2-1 count. The 2-1 pitch to Gill. High ball 3-1. McDougall batting .266. The 3-1 delivery aimed in there, and it's over. Strike 2, full count. Gill did not play in the opener. Lopez on deck and Mantle to follow. Pete Burnside ready. Here's the windup. Round comes the left arm. The payoff pitch is swung on and popped up into the air. Eddie Yost moves over under it, and Red Wilson says he'll take it. And who's got it? Wilson lunges for it and knocks Yost up against the barrier, but he's all right. Wilson made the catch, and there's one away. One down now, and here's Hector Lopez batting .298. Pitch on its way. It's in there. Strike 1. 0-1. Night game in Cleveland tomorrow night. Our air time 7:55. Now the 1-strike pitch. It's in there. Strike 2. 0-2. Lopez batting .298. He did not play in the opener. He was one of those that hit by the virus bug. 5 of the Yankees were in the last couple of days. No balls, 2 strikes. Burnside delivers, and Lopez swings and lines it into center for a base hit. Hit a 0-2 pitch for a single to center. Up comes Mickey Mantle, who was hitless in the opener. 0-4, batting .270. Batting right-handed against Burnside. The first. Burnside to the stretch, check to the runner. And the pitch to Mantle. Inside, almost a wild pitch, but it was nicely handled by Red Wilson. A 1-0 count. Side sets, delivers, and Mantle takes it low. Ball 2, 2-0. Tigers have taken 2 of the 3 games here. 13 games played, and the Yankees have won 8 of them, and the Tigers 5. Move to first. Lopez is back. Tigers having won all 5 of their games here in Detroit. pitch to Mantle. Swung on it, foul back out of play. The two clubs have played 8 games here, and the Tigers have won 5 out of the 8. The Yankees have taken 5 out of 5 from Detroit in New York. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 off. Burnside to his stretch. Moved to first. Lopez is back. Outfield is swung way around to the left. They give Mantle almost all of right field. Another move to first. Lopez is back. Burnside to his stretch. And the pitch. It's in there. Strike 2, 2-2. Was just below the shoulders, high in the strike zone. Actually, that's Mantle's pitch batting right-handed, but he had taken a long stride. He wasn't looking for it, and his pitch was up, and he couldn't move into it. Burnside ready. And the pitch to Mantle. High for ball 3. Full count now. 1 away. Mantle at bat. Lopez on first. First half of the first inning. The Tigers won the first game 12-2. Burnside into the stretch. Lopez with the lead. Check to the runner. And the pitch. Low outside, ball 4, and Mantle walks. And up to the plate now comes Roger Maris, who also was hitless in the first game. Mantle collecting his 66th walk. Lopez on second, Mantle on first, 1 out. Roger Maris up, and Bill Skowron on deck. Burnside ready. The pitch to Maris. Curveball outside, ball 1. Turned the lights on for the second game. Rain, dark clouds overhead. Burnside delivers to Maris, swings and sends a drive to right field. Colavito going back, and he makes the catch at the fence. And the runners hold up. Roger Maris sent Colavito right to the barrier. Back against the wall to take his drive. 2 away. Raj was going for the downs and just missed putting the Yankees in front. 2 away now. Here's Bill Skowron, batting .311. Moose had 1 for 2 in the opener and then retired in favor of Hadley. Didn't figure that ball would go in. It didn't sound good. Although sent Colavito to the fence. Here's the pitch to Skowron. Swings on it and hits the pop-up to third and foul ground. Yost is under it, waiting, and the side's retired. A threat, but no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. Then to the first half of the first inning. New York nothing, Detroit coming to bat. And we're going to bat for Ballantine beer. Next time you drop by your friendly tavern, keep an eye on that tap handle with the 3 rings on it. You'll soon find out it's the busiest tap in the business. Because these days, more and more folks are switching to the crisp refresher, Ballantine beer. Now, that's a fact. I'll tell you why. Ballantine is the one beer that gives you both lightness and flavor. The 2 things a beer must have to refresh. And right there you have the reason why Ballantine is the largest selling beer in the East. I mean all the way from Maine to Florida. To prove to more and more folks every day that a beer can be light and still give you all the honest-to-goodness lager beer flavor you want. It's the light beer with true lager flavor. So treat yourself to Valentine. You'll like it. And we'll like it if you do. Open up or order up the crisp refresher. BB, Valentine beer. Eddie Yost, Frank Bowling, and Charlie Maxwell, the first three men up in the last of the first inning. Eli Gerber making his first start of the season after having relieved 6 times, has a record of 1-0. Beat Chicago in relief June 18th. In the first game, reached base twice on a single and a walk. An ideal leadoff man. Batting .248 on the season. But he can really coax a pitcher. And 81 walks this season. Eli Gerber into the windup. And the pitch to Eddie. Swung on. There's a drive deep to left field on the first pitch. It's going. It is gone. How about that? Eddie Yost getting his 7th homer and 21st run batted in. That's where he outboxes them. They figure he'll be taken leading off, and he hit the first pitch into the left field seat. Oh, the Tigers are off and running at Briggs Stadium, and here's Frank Bowling. Bowling had 2 out of 5 in the opener. Takes the pitch inside, ball 1. I imagine that must be quite discomforting for a pitcher to have his first pitch hit for a homer in the game. The delivery inside, ball 2, 2-0. No strikes. One to nothing, Detroit. Now the pitch to Bowling is low, ball 3, 3-0. The 3-0 pitch. It's ball 4 outside. And the Tigers get started in a hurry. They scored 7 runs in the second inning of the first game. Now here's Charlie Maxwell coming up. He had 3 out of 5 in the opener, 2 singles and a triple. It's starting to rain a mite. Just a slight drizzle. 1 run in, nobody out, 1 on. Gerber delivers. Maxwell takes the strike. 0-1. Keeping the runner close. No balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. It's outside, and the count's 1-1. Washington's gone ahead of Cleveland. Cleveland 5-2 at the end of 5 innings. Washington won the opener 3-2. Gerber checks the runner. And the pitch. Swung on, ground ball hit to Richardson. Over to Boyer for one. Back to first, double play. 2 down. And now the batter is Norm Cash, hitting .289. Bobby Shantz just got up to limber up. Cash hit a grand slam home run in the second inning of the first game. And the Tigers got 7, and they won the game eventually 12-2. The pitch to Cash is in there, strike 1. 0-1. Now the pitch. Look out, it hits Cash on the right shoulder. They pitched him tight. Cash is not hurt. He gets up, goes down to first. Brings up Al Kaline, who walked 4 times in the first game. He's not charged for the time at bat. Came up 4 times and walked 4 times, hitting .243. 2 outs, 1 on, 1 in. Gerber delivers, and Kaline swings and lines it down the left field line, and it's over in foul ball, just barely foul. Just landed foul. It would have scored Cash. Johnny Rice went down the line. The ball landed just outside the foul line. It would have been good for at least a double and would have scored Cash. 1 strike. Kaline ripped it. 0-1 the count. Gerber delivers. Kaline swings and drives one out to right deep. There goes Maris back, and he makes the catch to retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. End of the first inning, Detroit 1, New York 0. We pause for station identification.
WOKO, Albany, New York. 2 minutes before 6.
In the first half of the second inning, Elston Howard, Clete Boyer, and Bobby Richardson will be coming up. Tigers won the first game 12-2 with Frank Larry besting Ralph Terry. Boston beat Kansas City 4-2. White Sox beat the Orioles 2-1 and lead 2-0 into 2 innings of the second. Washington beat Cleveland 3-2, and it's 5-2 Washington and a 5.5 of the second. In the National League, Cards beat the Cubs 6-0, and it's 1-1 down to 3.5 of the second. Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh 6-5. Pittsburgh leading 3-0 into 6.5 of the second. Giants 4, Dodgers 1 into 4, and Milwaukee beat Philadelphia 7-3. The last 2 single affairs. Elston Howard takes the strikes to go to the second inning from left-hander Pete Burnside. Now the pitch. High and away, ball 1, 1-1. Pitch. Swung on and fouled back. Strike 2, 1-2. Howard started the second game back to the plate, but gave way to Blanchard in the third inning. Ellie batting .259. The pitch is high and inside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ellie had 1 for 2 in the opener. The 2-2 pitch from Burnside, high for ball 3, 3-2. Full count on Howard. Now the windup and the payoff pitch. High for ball 4. Howard takes a walk to open the second. Second pass Burnside has issued. The batter now is Clete Boyer, hitting .243. Boyer homered in the 9th inning of the first game. He walked once. He was 1 for 3. Burnside gets the sign from Wilson. 1-0 Detroit, second inning. The left-hander's pitch, swung on and hit into center. Here comes Kaline fast and makes a fine running catch, and Howard retreats to first. Boyer lines to Kaline in short right center. 1 away, and the batter's Bobby Richardson, hitting .266. He had 2 out of 4 in the opener, a triple and a single. Yost shortened up at third. Burnside delivers to Bobby. Takes the ball. Eli Gerber to follow. Pete Burnside to the stretch. Throws to first. Howard's back. No strikes. Now the delivery. Curveball is over for a strike. 1-1. Here's the delivery. Swung on and popped up foul. There goes Cash back for it, and he overhauled it. Made a running catch of the pop-up, going away, in foul territory beyond first. 2 down now, and Eli Gerber the batter. 1 for 7, hitting .143. .0 Tigers. It's the first of the second. Burnside ready to work, and the pitch swung on and fouled off to the right of the plate and out of play. The delivery. Swung on, little roller down the third baseline. Could be trouble, and it is beaten out for a base hit as Howard goes to second. Gerber topped the pitch down the third baseline and beats it for a base hit. So they're 2 on, 2 out, and Gil McDougall coming up. Fouled out to the catcher in the first inning. The runners lead away from first first and second bases, and the pitch on its way, swung on and popped up into the air and foul ground. Eddie Yost is under it, and he makes the catch and the sides retire. Once again, the Yankees threaten, fail to score. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on. Then of an inning and a half, Detroit 1, New York 0. The second inning in Detroit. Rocky Colavito batting sixth in the order. First up, Fernandez on deck and Wilson to follow. Colavito has had 2 homers in this series, a 3-run homer and a 2-run homer. He had a 2-run homer in the second inning of the first game. Hitting .254. Eli Gerber delivers. Colavito takes it low outside. Ball 1. The Indians picked up a run. End of 6 innings. It's 5-3 Washington. White Sox leading Baltimore 2-0 going to the third. What's the total for the series, Pete? A little over 100,000. The next delivery swung on. There's a fly ball in the center. Mantle's moving under it and makes the catch. 1 away. Here's Chico Fernandez. Grounded to short, third and short, and double to left in the first game. Had 1 for 4, but his double drove in 3 men who had walked. Yankee pitchers have walked 22 men in this series. Eli Gerber to the windup. The pitch to Fernandez is in there for a strike. 111,020 for this series. Here's the pitch. Swung on as a fly ball down the left field line, going foul and out of play. Fernandez uses a thick-barreled bat. For a fellow who will only hit occasional home runs, it's a good bat to use. In fact, the fellow is strong. A lot of managers believe, players, it's still a good bat to use, especially with the slider. Any ball that comes in on the fifth, you got a big barrel bat, you can still punch it over the infield. Here's the delivery. Swung on and popped up around the mound. McDougal gets the call and drifts in under it to make the catch near the mound. 2 away. Now the redoubtable Red Wilson, hitting .224. But he has a very fine batting average, at least clutch-wise, against the Yankees. Always plays well against New York. Nothing Detroit on Eddie Yost, leadoff homer in the first inning. The pitch is low outside, ball 1. And the next pitch is bounced deep to short. Boyer throws on over to first in time to retire Wilson and the side. No runs, no hits, no error, no one left on. At the end of two stanzas, as they used to say, or two cantos, sports writing, in a sense, was colorful. They call it corny these days to use those expressions, or cliches, but they borrowed from the muse, as it were. And instead of innings, they'd say, after two stanzas, two cantos, just as, for a synonym. I guess it is the humidity. At the end of two innings, Detroit 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. New York, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and they had 4 of their players left on base. Hector Lopez leads off in the first of the third. Pete Burnside to the windup. In comes the pitch, and it's high for a ball. Lopez singled to center in the first inning. Tiger southpaw delivers, and Lopez takes the strike. 1-1, curveball. White Sox lead the Orioles 3-2 end of 3 innings of the second game. Baltimore, the White Sox beat Baltimore in the opener. Boston beat Kansas City 4-2. Senators 5, Indians 3 end of 6. Senators won the first game. Here's the pitch to Lopez. Swung on, hit the first on a hop. Cash up with it. Outruns Lopez to the bag, and there's one away. Now Mickey Mantle, who drew a pass in the first inning, with Maris to follow. Cardinals lead the Cubs 4-1 into 4 innings. Cardinals won the opener 6-0. Burnside's pitch to Mickey. Swung on a line drive to left field, and that ball is up against the screen. It just missed inches of going into the stands, and Mantle is held to a single on a ball that hit right up at the top of the left field screen. It just missed inches of going over for a home run. Mickey thought he had one wrapped up, as did the people here in the stands. It's right at the very top and bounced back, and he's held to a single. Single, and here now is Roger Maris. Maris flying to right in the first inning. The pitch low for a ball. He's back to Colabio up against the barrier. That ball went out as a pass. Maxwell might have had a play on him at second if he had tried to go for 2. It's right at the very top of the screen. 1 out, 1 on, 1-0 Detroit, third inning. Burnside checks the runner. The pitch to Maris. Swung on and missed. Strike 1, 1-1. Strike. Throw to first. Mantle's back. Burnside ready. And the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled down the first baseline. Strike 2, 1-2. For the 1-2 pitch. Here it is. And just outside, 2-2. 2 strikes. One to nothing in favor of Detroit. 3rd inning. Tigers won the first game 12-2. Burnside ready. And the pitch to the plate, swung on and fouled back out of play. Count remains 2-2. Burnside's next pitch is high for ball 3, 3-2. Maris has slumped down to below the 3:15 mark. Still playing with right wrist tape, bothering him somewhat. Full count now, 1 away, the stretch. Throw to first, Mantl's back. They're hollering at Paparella out of the Yankee dugout about a possible balk motion on the part of Burnside. Full count on Maris, 1 away. Stretched by Burnside, Mantle with the lead. And the pitch. Swung on it, missed. Strike 3. Struck him out. Stayed with him. Thus there are 2 away. And here's Bill Scarron, who fouled out in the first inning to Yost. Yankees didn't get too many on the first game, losing 12-2. They've been getting them on so far in this inning, or in this game, but they haven't been able to get them around. Burnside's pitch to the Moose. Fastball over, strike 1. 1-0 Detroit, 3rd inning. Throw to first, Mantle's back. Burnside to the stretch. And the pitch. Scarron swings and grounds it to short. Up with it, Fernandez. Over to Bowling, forcing Mantle, and the side's retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. At the end of 2.5 innings, Detroit won, and New York, nothing. The last half of the 3rd inning, Tigers leading 1-0. Pete Burnside up. Yost and Bowling to follow. Eli Gerber delivers. It's in there for a strike. Burnside bats right-handed. Batting 154, 2 for 13. Now the pitch. It's bunted foul in behind the plate. Strike 2, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Gerber's delivery. High and away. Ball 1, 1-2. The next pitch. Swung on a high chop. Scarron has it and steps on first ahead of him. That ball bounced high into the air. Now Eddie Yost hit the first pitch thrown by Gerber for a homer. Gerber's pitch outside, ball 1. Bowling on deck. 3-0 pitch. It's in there, strike one, 1-1. One strike. Gerber's delivery. Outside for ball 2, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. It's a foul ball to the left of the plate on a check swing. 2-2 to count. Two balls, two strikes. Now the pitch. Swung on and foul back. Count remains 2-2. Gerber gets the sign from Howard. Into the windup and the pitch to Eddie Yost. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Got him on a change of pace. 2 away, and here's Frank Bowling coming up. He walked in the first inning. Gerber's pitch to Bowling. Outside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch to Frank. It bounces past Howard. 2 balls, no strikes. No strikes to count. The next pitch is low outside, ball 3, 3-0. The 3-0 delivery. It's in there, 3-1. Pitch. It's in there, strike 2, full count. The 3-2 pitch. It's in there, called strike 3. Bowling didn't like the call. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. Down to 3 innings. The Tigers 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on Yost's game opening homer. The Yankees, no runs, 3 hits, no errors, 5 left on. Tigers won the opener 12-2. Right now, enjoy some Ballantine beer, the light beer with true lager flavor. The crisp refreshment. As we look at the scoreboard, Boston beat Kansas City 4-2. Brewer beat Hall. Brewer and Nixon homered. Chicago beat Baltimore 2-1. Shaw beat Barber. Robinson homered. Second game, 4-2 White Sox into 4.5 win and Fisher. Stevers homered with 1 off. Washington beat Cleveland 3-2. Clevenger beat Grant. Second game, Washington 5, Cleveland 3 into 7.5. Moore relieved Kralik in the fifth. For Cleveland's been Briggs, Locke, Blattman, and Bozefield. National League, St. Louis beat Chicago 6-0. Jackson beat Ellsworth. White homered. St. Louis leading 4-1 into 6 of the second game. Sadecki and Anderson. Moorhead relieved in the fourth. Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh 6-5. Perky beat Law. Nelson had a 3-run homer. Second game, the Pirates won it 5-0. Tom Cheney, the winner. McLeish, the loser, in relief of Newcomb in the first. Burton homered in the first. San Francisco 4, Dodgers 1, end of 6. McCormick against Padres with Sherry, Palmquist, and Koufax in relief. And Milwaukee beat the Phils 7-3. Burdette beat Conley. Matthews homered with 1 on his 19th. We pause for, after we do that, you'll hear Phil Rizzuto coming over, but first we'll pause for station identification.
You are tuned to 1460 on the radio dial. This is Quality Modern Radio in Albany, WOKO, serving you with the best of everything. 26 minutes before 7.
Elston Howard steps into the batter's box and takes a strike on the inside corner. Pete Burnside, the left-hander, out on the mound. Howard walked in the second inning. There it is, and it's hit up the middle for a base hit. Burnside was breaking the other way, and it went right over him out in the center field. Hit number 4 of Burnside has given up at least 1 hit in each inning. Here's Cletus Boyer, fly to center field in the second inning. Boyer has hit 9 consecutive ball games. Leads off first. Here's the stretch. Pitch to Boyer is a curve low inside, ball 1. Boyer looks down at Crissetti, flashes some signs. Howard looking over at the Crow. Here's the stretch. There goes Howard. The pitch is hit on the ground to third. Yost goes to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. Howard was running, and they still got the double play. And that's because you can't take too big a lead off a left-hand pitcher. Around the horn, third to second to first. And it's 2-away. Here's Bobby Richardson, who popped out to first base in the second inning. Changeup hit foul outside of third, strike 1. The 1-strike pitch, curve hit. What a play Yost made. He's up, goes to first. In time for the out. Yost made a beautiful play as he dove to his right backhand of the ball, laying flat on the ground, got up to a standing position and fired across the first and up Richardson. The third base play has been beautiful today with Yost for the Tigers and Boyer for the Yankees. And for the Yankees in the top of the fourth, no runs, 1 hit, no Detroit errors, nobody left. The score at the end of 3.5 innings, Detroit 1 and the Yankees nothing. to be Charlie Maxwell leading off for Detroit, with the Tigers leading the Yankees 1-0. Detroit won the first game, remember, 12-2. Maxwell hit him a fast double play his first time at bat. Eli Gerber on the mound for the Yankees. He gave up a home run to Eddie Yost on his first pitch, Eddie, in the bottom of the first. Pitch to Maxwell on the inside corner, strike one call. Curve in the dirt, ball 1-1-1. Fans trying to get a rally going. They're playing the top of the ninth inning at Cleveland with Washington leading 5-3. Washington won the first game 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gerber has allowed just that one hit to Eddie Yost. Well, the Yankees have gotten 4 hits without a run, 1 in each inning. Just outside, 2-2. Gerber trying to hit that outside corner with a fastball. Ready for the 2-2 delivery. There it is. The curve in the dirt, rolls back to the screen. Ball 3, full count. Three and two on Maxwell. Up by Gerber. The payoff pitch is line fouled on the right field line. Kicks off the wall and rolls out where Roger Maris will retrieve it. Three balls, 2 strikes. Gerber decides he wants a different baseball. Three balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out, nobody on. Detroit 1, Yankees nothing. Bottom of the 4th. Here's Gerber's windup. Pitch is another foul down the right field line. And a fan reached out and took it right away from the special officer down there. 3-2. Digging in at the plate. Left hand hitting left fielder. Here's the windup. Pitch is line to right field. There's a base hit. Harris is up with it. And Maxwell's on with a line single to right field. That's the second hit off Gerber. And here comes Norm Cash, who was hit by a pitch ball in the first inning. Detroit leading 1-0. Maxwell's hit that ball hard all day. He had 3 hits in the first game. Double played into his hard hit. Left-hand hitting first baseman Norm Cash digging in. There's a throw to first. Maxwell's back. Pitch is outside, ball one. Gerber goes to the rosin bag, walks all around that mound. Here's the stretch. Pitch is swung at it, missed. Strike one, 1-1. The count, nobody out. Here's the stretch. Throw to first base, and Maxwell's back. Cash steps back into the batter's box. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's hit foul over towards the Yankee dugout. Scarlin's chasing it, but that's going back into the stands and out of play. Washington takes a doubleheader from Cleveland. The first game 3-2, the second one 5-3. One ball, two strikes on Norm Cash. Scarlin holding first against Maxwell. Boy, Gerber's taking plenty of time. The pitch is line to left field. Lopez right there makes the catch. Boy, that ball was hit right on the button. Hector Lopez was the right man at the right spot that time. Brings up Al Kaline, who lined out to deep right field in the first inning. Kaline, who walked 4 times in the first game. One away. On deck, Rocky Colavito. Howard went out to the mound to talk with Gerber. All 3 Yankee pitchers in the first inning was very slow working. Terry, Gable, and Mark. Maxwell still at first. The stretch. The pitch to Kaline. Slow curve. Hit slowly to third. McDougal's got to come in. He's got to go to first base. In time to get Kaline, but moving to second is Maxwell. And here comes Rocky Colavito, flying to center field. Two outs. Detroit leading 1-0. Colavito had 1 homer in the first game. Time is called again. Howard went out to the mound to talk with Gerber. Now Gerber's coming in to talk with Howard. Looks like they're going to put him on. Yeah, they're going to put him on. Or are they? Wait a minute now. Eddie Lopez whistled to Howard and says, remember, you got first base open with 2 outs. As the runner is second, on deck is Chico Fernandez. Here's the stretch. Pitch to Rocky is low outside. Nice play by Howard on a backhand scoop up of the ball. Ball 1. They're not going to give Colavito anything good to hit, that's for sure. Wait a minute, I think they're going to put him on. I heard Casey yelling. Casey's yelling, hold it. Casey's yelling, hold it. He says, put him on first base. Yeah, I could hear Case here, but Gerber and Howard couldn't hear him. There's ball 2, and they give Colavito an intentional pass. out to third base in the second inning. Had one base hit in the first game. Had a 3-run double. 1-0 Detroit leads in the bottom of the fourth. Maxwell at second and Colavito at first. The stretch by Gerber. His pitch is low outside, ball one. On deck is Red Wilson, the catcher. On Chico Fernandez. Gerber into his set position. The pitch is high and a base hit to left field. Here comes Maxwell. He'll score. Moving to third is Colavito, and holding him first with a line single is Chico Fernandez, and Detroit leads 2-0. So they walk Colavito to get at Fernandez, and Fernandez crossed him up. A line single as he just went with the pitch. Colavito moved to third as he was running with the pitch, and Fernandez is at first. That brings up the catcher, Red Wilson. 2-0 Detroit lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Wilson bounced to the shortstop in the second inning. Fernandez got a big lead off first base. Here's the stretch. Pitch to Wilson, foul at the plate, strike one. Fighting for the ball down there. Here's the stretch. Pitch is a ground ball at third. McDougal goes to Richardson for the fourth on Fernandez coming down. But Detroit comes up with 1 run in the bottom of the fourth. 2 hits. No Yankee errors. 2 men left. The score at the end of 4 full innings. Detroit 2, the Yankees nothing, and we pause for station identification.
You by the Atlantic Refining Company and your Atlantic dealers offer you Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor and keeps it clean. Here's Phil again.
Oh, like him. Very quickly, the scores. Boston defeated Kansas City 4-2. White Sox defeated Baltimore 2-1 in the first game, and Chicago leads 4-2 at the end of 5.5 of the second. Washington took 2 from Cleveland, 3-2 in the first and 5-3 in the second. Cardinals defeated the Cubs 6-0 in the first, and they lead 7-1 at the end of 7 of the second. Cincinnati and the Pirates split, the Reds winning the first 6-5, and the Pirates the second 5-0. The Giants are leading the Dodgers 4. No, wait a minute. Hold on. The Dodgers scored 3 in the top of the 7th. It's tied 4-4 at the end of 7. 4 Giants can't win a game. Milwaukee defeated the Phillies 7-3. In the top of the 5th inning with Detroit leading 2-0. Eli Gerber, who beat out an infield single in the second inning, will lead off. Yankees have managed to get... They got that Al Smith doing that. Throwing that ball on the ground and kicking it around with their foot. That's Ed Runge's trick, and he's umpiring out at second base. And the first pitch to Gerber is high. Eli Gerber. Gerber steps out of the box.
You've got more time than you've got, Pete.
Here's the windup. And the pitch is low outside, ball 2. 2-0. Ball is high, ball 3, 3-0. ready for the 3-0 pitch. It's in there for a strike, 3-1. And Frank Rossetti gives Gerber the sign. Here's a 3-1 pitch. And ball 4, he lost him. Gerber walks. That's the third walk given up by Burnside. And it'll bring up Gil McDougall, who has been up twice and twice popped up to the catcher. Nobody out. Pitch to McDougall is over for a strike. A change of pace. Stretch, and the pitch is a ground ball in the hole. The base hit to left field. Charlie Maxwell up with it. Gerber holds at second. McDougall is at first. And that's hit number 5 off Burnside, and the Yankees continue to get one hit an inning. They get that second hit, then they're going to score. Here's Hector Lopez. Single to center, bounce to first. Dave Sisler is getting up in the Detroit bullpen. Big right-hander. Yankees have runners at first and second with nobody out in the top of the 5th. Infield looking for a possible sacrifice. Yost in at third, Cash in at first. Here's the stretch. Pitch to Lopez. He squares around, takes it high. Ball 1. Detroit leading 2-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. Here's the stretch. Pitch. Lopez swings it, lines it foul on the right field line. He tried to hit it by Norm Cash, who was charging in on him. Cash was looking for the sacrifice. Now Lopez looks down at Frank Rossetti coaching at third. 1-1. Here's the stretch. Gerber with a big lead off second. McDougall off first. Lopez squares around, and the bunt is right back to the box. And he yelled first base to throw to first in time to get Lopez and have Yost stay back. They would have had Gerber at third, but Eddie had to come over. The bunt was right near the third base foul line. He didn't realize that Burnside would be able to break over there so quickly. It's a sacrifice from the pitcher to the second baseman covering 1-4. McDougall went to second. Gerber to third. Here's Mickey Mantle. Mickey walked and singled off the left field fence. A line drive. Infield's playing back. Detroit leads 2-0. On deck, Roger Maris. Checks the signs on Red Wilson. Here's the windup. Pitch to Mickey. It's fouled at the plate, strike 1, as he took a little bit off the fastball. strike on Mantle. 1 out, 2 on. Burnside goes back to the rosin bag. McDougal, big lead off second. Gerber not too big off third. Here's the pitch to Mantle. Strike call. The fastball on the outside corner. 0-2. Goes to the right bag again. Now the left-hander shakes his head. He's got the sign. Here's the windup. Kicks the right leg high. The pitch curve is a little bit high, ball one. Man, that was close. A big overhand curve ball that just broke above the letters and then down. One ball, 2 strikes. Looks over at Gerber at third. Looks again. Here's the windup. His pitch is strike 3 swinging. He threw the fastball by him. Burnside gets his second strikeout, and here's the other fellow he struck out, Roger Maris. He picked on 2 of the top hitters to strike out. Maris in the 3rd inning. Mantle here in the 5th with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Now it's 2 out. Roger looking for his first base hit of the afternoon. He was 0 for 4 in the first game, 0 for 2 in this second game. Fly to right and struck out. McDougal's at second, Gerber at third. Detroit leading 2-0 in the top of the 5th. Here's the pitch to Maris. It's popped in the air. Eddie Yost, the third baseman, is coming under it. And makes the catch in foul territory for the 3rd out. And some spectacular pitching by Pete Burnside, getting by Mickey Mantle, and Roger Maris gets them out of a jam. And the Yankees have not been able to come up with 2 hits in any one inning. For New York in the top of the 5th, no runs, 1 hit, no Detroit errors, and 2 men left. The score at the end of 4.5 innings, Detroit 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors, and the Yankees no runs on 5 hits and no errors. Big hand for Pete Burnside, who will be leading off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Burnside bounced out to first base in the 3rd inning, his first time at bat. Eli Gerber on the mound. Eli gave up 1 hit bottom of the 1st. That on his first pitch, a home run by Eddie Yost in the upper deck in left field. Then 2 more hits in the 4th inning when Detroit scored their 2nd run. Fernandez singled with 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Burnside. Strike call, fastball on the inside corner. Ground ball hit slowly back of the mound. McDougal flipped to Skowron for the out. Nice play by Joe. He had to go in back of the mound to get that. One away, here's Eddie Yost, who homered and struck out. Is Frank Bowling. First pitch to Yost is high for ball 1. The White Sox came up with 7 runs in the 6th inning, and they lead Baltimore 11-2. They've been taking turns ganging up, see who's going to be in second place here, Cleveland, Baltimore, and Chicago. He pitched the Yosta's high ball 2-0. Stepped ahead of Baltimore now, but I don't believe they can go ahead of Cleveland, even though Cleveland dropped 2 and the White Sox might win 2. Strike call, 2-1 the count. Is outside and low, ball 3-1. Eddie had 1 walk in the first game. That was his 81st walk of the year. 3-1 pitch, and there's number 82 in the air. Base on ball. Yost walks. 3rd walk given up by Gerber. Brings up Frank Bowling, who walked in the 1st and struck out in the 3rd. One away. Detroit leads 2-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Leading off first base. Pitch to Bowling. It tipped his bat. Strike 1. Good call by Al Smith, the plate umpire. Bowling checked his swing, but you could hear it tip his bat up here. One strike on Bowling. First base. Yost is back. One strike pitch is hit on the ground to short. Boyer to Richardson for 1, back to first. Double play. And for Detroit in the bottom of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no Yankee errors. Nobody left to score at the end of 5 full innings. Detroit 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. The Yankees no runs, 5 hits, and no errors. Well, we're in Detroit, and it's been a pretty rough series so far for the Yankees. They've lost 2 out of the 3 games played. They're behind in this one, 2-0. But we'll be home after 3 games in Cleveland, and we'll open with the Chicago White Sox. That'll be Friday night, July 22nd, followed by a Ladies' Day game Saturday afternoon, the 23rd, and a big bargain bill doubleheader on Sunday, July 24th. Now, the box and reserve seats are available for the Friday night game and for Saturday afternoon, but only reserve seats remain for the Sunday doubleheader on July 24th. And as everybody knows, the Tigers are always rough for the Yankees. And Detroit will be at the home champions on Monday night, August the 2nd, again on Tuesday night the 3rd, and for an unprecedented 3rd straight night on Wednesday, August the 3rd. Wait a minute, that must be Wednesday, August the 4th. If Tuesday's August the 3rd, then Wednesday must be August the 4th. Is that right, Patty? Got to tell Pete about this. To go here in the top of the 6th with Detroit leading 2-0. Bill Skowron, who popped to 3rd and bounced to short, will lead off. Pete Burnside out on the mound. The pitch the sky and is hit right back to the box on one slow hop. Burnside throw to Cash, one away on the first pitch. Here's Elston Howard. Howard walked and single to center field. Pitch to Howard is high, ball one. The 1-0 pitch outside, ball two, 2-0. A strike. 2-1 to count on Howard. Two balls, one strike, and one out on Elston Howard here. Top of the sixth, Detroit leads 2-0. Burnside pitch is high. Three and one. Low, ball four. Ellie walks again, second time. Fourth walk. And Shantz is up in the Yankee bullpen. Here's Cletus Boyer. Deep fly to center, hit him with double play. Pitch to Boyer, swung at and missed strike one. He went after a high breaking pitch. A little over anxious that time. One out. Stretch and the pitch is hit into right field, a base hit. And Boyer has now hit in 10 straight games. Boy, he just chopped that ball out there. With Bowling playing him over and back at second. Cleat just stuck his bat out, didn't even give a full swing, and the ball jumped out. A single for Boyer, and he has hit in 10 consecutive ball games, and the Yankees continue to get one hit an inning. That's their sixth hit in 6 innings. One each inning. Here's Bobby Richardson. Bobby popped to first, bounced to third. Howard is at second, and Boyer is at first. One away. The stretch and the pitch is a little bit high, ball one. Is playing in at first base. Yost is even with third. There's one away. Change-up is high outside. Ball 2-0. And Red Wilson has the time and walks out to the mound to talk with Burnside. Dave Sisler gets up in the Detroit bullpen. Eddie Yost moves over to talk with Wilson and Burnside. Bobby is in there for a strike. 2-1 on Richardson. 1 out. Detroit leading 2-0 here in the top of the 6th. Elston Howard is down at second. And Cletus Boyer over at first base. Bobby Shantz is up in the bullpen. Gerber is due to be the next batter. Pitch is in there, strike 2. He took a fastball about belt high just on the inside part of the plate. Only one away. Boyer off first, Howard off second. Pitch is a curve hit high in the air to left field. Charlie Maxwell is getting under it. Should have no trouble with it, and he's got it for the second out. And Yogi Berra is coming out to bat for Eli Gerber. Yogi in the first game was 1 for 4. He singled in the 9th inning. And 2 men are on, and Detroit leads 2-0. So Bobby Shantz will be the new pitcher. A stretch by Burnside. Pitch to Yogi is line foul down the right field line, going back into the stands, out of play. Yogi got a little bit out in front of that, got good wood on it. On Yogi. Pitch to Yogi, the ground foul down the right field line. 0-2 on Yogi. On Yogi. Stretch by Burnside. Pitch, he strike 3. He tried to check it. He went around on a bad pitch. Yogi strikes out, went after a high fastball and didn't get it. And Burnside records his 3rd strikeout. And of his 3 strikeouts, 1 was Maris, 1 was Mantle, and 1 Berra. For the Yankees in the top of the 6th, no runs, 1 hit again. They've managed 1 hit each inning. No Detroit errors and 2 men left, and the score at the end of 5.5 innings of play. Detroit 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. The Yankees no runs, 6 hits, no errors.
Did you ever hear somebody say, well, I can't do 2 things at once? Well, I know you have, but With New Atlantic Imperial gasoline, you really can do two things at once, and easily. You can clean your carburetor while you drive. Yes, New Atlantic Imperial gasoline starts in right away while you're just driving along to remove troublesome deposits that form on the carburetor walls and cause loss of power, rough idling, and actual gasoline waste. That's New Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline designed to clean your carburetor as you drive and keep it clean. Last half of the sixth inning coming up. The Tigers leading 2-0.
Chance is coming on to take over for Eli Gerber. Gerber pitched 5 innings, gave up only 3 hits, walked 3, struck out 2, and allowed 2 runs. He gave up a homer to Eddie Yost in the first inning, and in the 4th inning, Maxwell singled, went to second base, and Colavito walked, and then scored on a 2-out single by Chico Fernandez. That's the score in the ball game. Detroit 2 and the Yankees nothing as we get ready to go in the bottom of the 6th inning. Charlie Maxwell, who hit into a double play and singled, will be leading off. Bobby Shand's only 5'6", 154 pounds. This is his 21st appearance of the year. He relieved on July the 9th last at Boston, pitched an inning in the 3rd, gave up 1 hit, no runs. Here's Bobby's first pitch to Maxwell. It's right down the middle. Strike 1 call. Bobby's next pitch inside. Ball 1-1-1. Giants will finally won a ball game, defeating the Dodgers 5-4. Curve is inside, ball 2, 2-1. On Maxwell. Pitch is hop foul going back out of play and back of the Tiger dugout. 2-2 on Maxwell. Balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out, nobody on. There's Little Chance into the windup. Fastball inside, ball 3. Full count, 3-2. Now the payoff pitch to Maxwell. Curve, high, ball 4. He lost him. Maxwell walked to lead off the bottom of the 6th. Here's Norm Cash, hit by a pitch ball and lined out to left field. And the pitch to Cash is bunted in front of the plate, a kick foul. Bobby reached for it, and Howard almost stepped on his pitching hand as they both went down for it. Cash realizing he's got to try and bunt that ball away from Shantz. Because if Bobby can get to it, he can throw the runner out going to second base. One strike. There's the stretch. McDougal coming in at third. The ball is bunted, and McDougal gets it, throws to second, but it's a foul ball. Gill had Maxwell sliding in, and it had a double play as Cash stopped halfway down the line, but the ball kicked foul, and plate umpire Al Smith. I'm sure you could hear him all the way up here yell, "It's foul." McDougal had been charging in before Shantz delivered the pitch. He was a cinch to get the runner going to second base if Cash bunted toward him. 0-2. Johnny James up in the Yankee bullpen. He bunts with 2 strikes on him. Shantz goes to second base. And he's safe at second. Boyer came off the bag too quick. He certainly did. Curtis Boyer, in his anxiety to make a double play, came off second base before he caught the ball thrown by Shantz. There was plenty of time for Boyer to stand back there and get the throw. But he was going to try and make the double play and came off the bag much too soon. And you can tell that's what he did because nobody is arguing on the Yankee team, including Boyer or Casey Stengel on the Yankee bench. That goes as a sacrifice and a fielder's choice. No error on the play. And Detroit now has runners at first and second with nobody out, and Al Kaline the batter. Kaline fly to right and bounce to third. Ball got away from Johnny Blanchard down in the bullpen. He's got to go back and get it. Well, Howard takes time to go out to the mound and talk with Shantz. Nobody out. The Yankee infield has to continue looking for the sacrifice. Kaline the batter, Colavito to follow. Detroit leads 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. Shantz into the stretch position. Here comes Skowron, and the pitch is high, ball 1, and Kaline was not going to bunt that time, boy. Skowron is right on top of him. One ball, no strikes on Kaline. Stretch by Shantz. Pitch is in there for a strike, 1-1. Is not coming in quite as far as he usually does. He ends up right in front of home plate about 10 feet away from the plate, but he respects Kaline's power a little more. Stretch and a 1-1 pitch is popped in the air to the infield. The infield fly rule is called. McDougal's after it and makes the catch. Kaline was automatically out on the infield fly rule. And here comes Rocky Colavito. Rocky fly to center and walk. Cash at first, Maxwell at second. One away. Foul back, strike one. Rocky had a good pitch that time. Fernandez on deck. Stretch by Shannon. Slow curve is lined. McDougal makes a great play. Throws the second double play. He took a base hit away from Colavito and saved a run. And then fired to Richardson before Maxwell could dive back head first. A beautiful double play by Gil McDougal. Boy, he leaped as high as he could. Just got the ball in the webbing of his glove. And so for Detroit in the bottom of the sixth, no runs, no hits, no Yankee errors. One man left to score at the end of the sixth inning. Detroit 2 and the Yankees nothing, and we pause for station identification. On the scoreboard in the American League, Boston defeated Kansas City 4-2. Chicago took the first game from Baltimore 2-1 and lead in the second game 14-2 at the end of 7 innings. Washington took 2 from Cleveland, 3-2 the first game, 5-3 the second game. In the National League, the Cardinals took 2 from the Cubs, 6-0 in the first game and 8-1 in the second game. Cincinnati and the Pirates split. The Reds won the first game 6-5. The Pirates won the second game 5-0. The Giants beat the Dodgers 5-4, and Milwaukee defeated the Phillies 7-3. For the Yankees, Gil McDougal, who twice popped out and then singled to left field, will lead off. Yankees trailing 2-0 here in the top of the 7th inning. Pete Burnside on the mound has given up 1 hit in each inning. But that's all. Had he given up more than one, he'd have been in trouble. Here's Burnside's pitch to McDougal. Gil takes it high. Ball 1. The windup by the left-hander. Pitch is hit foul deep to left field and off the top of the roof. It's kicking around, coming down, and into the stands. That ball went in foul territory, around the roof, around the flagpole, and back into what would have been fair territory in the upper deck. A long strike, 1-1. Pitch is a curve hit foul outside of third, fielded by Frank Crissetti. So looks it over before throwing it back to Burnside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Is a ground ball. Great play by Eddie Yost. Throw to first base. Pulls the first baseman off, but he got back in time for the out. A brilliant play by Eddie Yost and Norm Cash. Boy, Yost went far to his left to glove that ball one-handed. Threw off balance to throw pull Cash off first, but Cash got the ball and leaped back on the bag. They combined to take a base hit away from McDougal. And Eddie Yost and Cletus Boyer have made at least 5 or 6 sensational plays today. Here's Hector Lopez, who singled, bounced to first and sacrificed. 1 for 2. Pitch to Hector is low. Ball 1. Nothing pitch is in there. Strike 1, 1-1. was a little high. Ball 2, 2-1. One strike, one out. Pitch is strike 2. He swings and misses a high fastball up around the letters. 2-2. Pitch, change-up, strike 3, swinging. He pulled the string on Hector Lopez. And that's his 4th strikeout of the ball game. Maris, Mantle, Berra, and Lopez have gone down on strikes, and here's Mantle, who singled off the left field wall and then struck out. Mickey's strikeout was one of the biggest of the game for Burnside because there were runners at second and third at the time and only 1 out. All right, 2 out, 2-0 Detroit leads. The pitch to Mickey is a curve low, ball 1. Changeup hit slowly down at third. Yost's going to have to hurry up with it. Fires across the first in time to get Mantle. Another fine play by Eddie Yost. And there's the first inning in which the Yankees have been retired 1-2-3 without a base hit. And nothing across for New York. The score at the end of 6.5 innings. Detroit 2 and the Yankees nothing. In the bottom of the 7th inning, it's going to be Chico Fernandez who drove in one of the 2 runs in this ball game and 3 runs in the first game. Then Red Wilson and Pete Burnside. Fernandez hopped to third before singling to center field. Bobby Shands is on the mound for New York. He took over for Eli Gerber, who pitched fine ball while he was in there for 5 innings. Only gave up 3 hits. But when the team's not hitting him back here, he can't stay in there. Here's the pitch to Fernandez. It's a curve on the inside corner. Strike 1 call. And the fastball lined right at Boyer at shortstop. Boy, did he tomahawk that high fastball. Right at Cletus Boyer, the shortstop. 1 away. Here's Red Wilson. Bounced to short and bounced to third. One out and nobody on. Windup by Bobby. The curve is high, ball 1. The 1-0 curve is fouled back on the screen and out of play in back of home plate. 1-1 on Wilson. 1 out. Fastball inside. Ball 2-1. 1-1 the count. Wind up by the little left-hander. Slow curve is hit out to center field for a base hit. Neville is up with it, and Wilson's on with a single to center. First hit off Shands, hit number 4 for the Tigers in the ballgame. Here's Pete Burnside. Bounce to first and bounce to third, and now the Yankee infield will be looking for the possible sacrifice. Burnside takes a practice swing on the side, but looks down at Billy Hitchcock. And you watch. Of course, you can't watch if you're listening to the game. But McDougal's going to come in from third, and Skowron's going to come charging in from first. Here's the stretch. Here they come. The ball is bunted foul. Strike one. And not only do McDougal and Skowron break in, but Bobby Shands, who's probably the best fielder of any of them, is coming in. So Burnside's got his hands full trying to sacrifice this runner along. Burnside bats him right-handed. Here's a stretch by Shands. Throw to first, but Wilson is back. Stretch, and the pitch is taken outside to 1-1. Eddie Yost on deck. Is pointed at and foul tip, strike 2. Howard held on to the ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. All right, here's the stretch by Shannon. Pitch is bunted, and it's a good one. Skowron has to go to first base. Now, how do you like that? That's twice that's happened in this ball game. When after 2 strikes are on the bat up, they lay down a perfect punt. Couldn't lay it down until they had 2 strikes on them. The sacrifice worked. From Skowron to Richardson covering. Moving to second is Wilson. 2 out. Here's Eddie Yost. Homer struck out and walked. Out, Detroit 2, Yankees nothing, bottom of the 7th. Here's the stretch. Curve inside, ball 1. The stretch, curveball is in there, strike 1, 1-1. Wilson got a good sized lead off second. Detroit 2 and the Yankees nothing in the bottom of the 7th. Fastball popped in the air to right field. Roger Maris is moving in under this one. And takes it for the 3rd out. For Detroit in the bottom of the 7th. No runs on 1 hit. No Yankee errors. 1 man left. The score at the end of 7 full innings. Detroit 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. The Yankees no runs, 6 hits, and 1 error.
Clean carburetor gives smoother driving performance. So use new Atlantic Imperial.
The only other game going on now is the second game with Baltimore and Chicago. Boston defeated Kansas City 4-2. The White Sox won the first from Baltimore 2-1, and Chicago leads the second game 14-2. Washington took 2 from Cleveland, 3-2 the first, 5-3 the second. In the National League, Cardinals took 2 from the Cubs, 6-0 and 8-1. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh split. Cincinnati won the first 6-5. The Pirates the second 5-0. Giants beat the Dodgers 5-4. Milwaukee beat the Phillies 7-3. Earlier in the 6th inning, when Cash sacrificed, or so we thought he sacrificed, the throw to second, Boyer came off the bag. Boyer is charged with an error on that play and an assist for Bobby Shands. Pete Burnside will be pitching to Roger Maris, Bill Scarron, and Elston Howard. Maris looking for his first base hit of the whole afternoon. He was 0 for 4 in the first game. He's 0 for 3 in this game. Takes a strike. Just outside, 1-1. Art Ditmar is up in the Yankee bullpen now. Curveball line foul down the right field corner, fielded by Johnny Blanchard in the bullpen. Roger Maris leading off here in the top of the 8th. Detroit leads 2-0. Burnside's pitch high inside, ball 2-2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Is a curve just inside, ball 3. 3-2. Now the payoff pitch to Maris. A line to the right field, and that's in there for a base hit. Rogers' first base hit of the afternoon. He got it at a mighty important time, but it took him a long time to get it. A single to right field. Hit number 7 off Burnside. And here's Bill Scarron, the Moose, pop to third, bounce to short, and head back to the box. And with that base hit, Dave Sisler gets up in the bullpen. Nobody out. Maris at first. Cash holding him close. Here's the stretch. Pitch to Scarron is a curve hit high in the air to deep right field. Talavito going back. And fair ball, home run. Talavito is arguing that it's not a home run. And look at Rocky coming in and Cash coming in. And Jimmy Dykes coming out. And Talavito, who was right on the play, says that ball was a foul ball, but here's Scarron coming in, and the ball game is tied up. Look at Jimmy Dykes arguing down there. Scarron gets a 2-run homer. And wait a minute. everybody thought was foul except Joe Paparella, the first base umpire. Rocky Colavito came storming in, really digging hard from right field. And so the ball game is all tied up at 2-2. Boy, that happened sudden, like Burnside was holding them in close. Billy Hitchcock now is over there with Norm Cash and Jimmy Dykes. Frank Bowling arguing with second base umpire Ed Runge. Jimmy Dykes still arguing with Paparella. The curveball out that way. Fans are blowing things out on the field. All right, the hubbub is almost settled down, at least the players' viewpoint. Dykes has walked off the field. As far as the fans are concerned, they're still arguing and moaning and throwing things down on the field. Elton Howard, who walked twice and singled, steps into the batter's box. And listen to the crowd. They won't stop booing. There's the windup. And the pitch to Howard is outside ball one. Pitch is popped in the air. Norm Cash, the first baseman, and Red Wilson, and Wilson takes the catch. One away. One out. Here's Cletus Boyer. Fly to center, hit into a double play single. Has hit 10 consecutive ball games now. Pitch to Boyer is inside ball one. The 1-0 pitch is outside ball two. 2-0. Hit deep to left center field, way back there. Maxwell going back and makes a running catch in deep left center. Nice play by Maxwell, 2 away. And here's Bobby Richardson. Bobby's 0 for 3. Bounce to first, bounce to third, fly to left. Richardson, strike one, is swing and a miss. One strike pitch is low. Ball 1, 1-1. Maxwell is coming on over in foul territory. Makes the catch. So for the Yankees in the top of the eighth, the only inning they were able to put together more than one hit. They come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. No Detroit errors. Nobody left. The score at the end of 7.5 innings. The Yankees 2 and the Tigers 2.
Crowd at Briggs Stadium in Detroit over that highly disputed home run by Bill Skowron. But despite that fact, the Tigers have been tied up by the Yankees 2-2. And though the crowd rages on, the umpires are not going to be intimidated by the partisan Detroit fans. 2-2, and let's pick up Bill.
Getting louder. Bowling fouls the first pitch off, strike 1. Looks like Clem Levine up in the bullpen. And now they're starting to stomp and holler. High ball 1, 1-1. Kind of scares you, because then you realize what crowds can do, the effect they have. It's like everybody gets into the swing of things, and before you know it, you lose your head, you don't realize what you're doing. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Curve outside, ball 2, 2-1. Ball 3, 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and it's in there, strike 2. Underway. All the other games are over. Chicago won their second game from Baltimore 14-2. There's a pitch, line foul in the left field corner, out of play. And the fans are yelling, home run, fair ball. That ball was fouled by about 100 feet. All the fans are yelling, fair ball. Pitch to Bowling. His pop foul out of play down the right field line. Popped in the air to short left field. Boyer back. Lopez in, and Lopez makes the catch. One away. Here's Charlie Maxwell hit into a double play, singled and walked. is flying to right field, a base hit. Maris to his left, and he's up with it, and Maxwell is on with a long single to deep right field. Hit number 2 off Bobby Sands, and here's Norm Cash, who was hit by a pitch ball, flying to left. And now Roger Maris is coming in from right field. And he says he doesn't want to play out there. Look what somebody threw down there. It looks like part of a seat. Yes, it is. It's part of one of the seats in right field. That could have hit him and really hurt him. It's a big piece of wood with a sharp end. And Maris is going to walk in. And he wants them to make an announcement. Yes, it is. You can see the number from the seat still on there. Somebody broke the back rung of the seat, and now they're making an announcement. That ball just missed Maris out of that piece of wood. Joe Paparella is holding it in his hand. Casey Stengel is out there. And Lou Gapling. And Maris, I don't blame Maris for coming in. Bill McDougal and Elston Howard are arguing with plate umpire Al Smith. You could forfeit a game like this if the crowd does not listen and continues to throw things that would jeopardize the safety of the ball players. The umpires could call the game and forfeit it in favor of the visiting team. Boy, this has been a wild one. It's going along in fairly good shape. And then Skowron's disputed 2-run homer. And the fans throwing things on the field, and Maris still has not gone back to right field. Gil McDougal now going out to talk with Ed Runge, the second base umpire. They made the announcement over the PA system. And look at McDougal talking with Paparella now, and Roger Maris will not go out to right field. Boy, they're continuing to throw things down from the upper deck. Maris and McDougal will not get away from umpires Joe Paparella and Ed Runge. It's a very serious and very dangerous thing that the fans are doing out here now. They started to just throw paper, but then after that some boxes came down, some fruit, and then somebody broke off the back of a chair and fired that down at Maris, just missed him. Jimmy Pearsall complained about that earlier in the year when they threw at him. And if I'm not mistaken, it was right here in Detroit. It says the home team shall provide police protection sufficient to preserve order. If a person or persons enter the playing field during a game and interfere in any way with the play, the visiting team may refuse to play until the field is clear. And if the field is not cleared in a reasonable length of time, which shall in no case be less than 15 minutes after the visiting team's refusal to play, the umpire may forfeit the game to the visiting team. Well, that says if anybody comes on the field, they don't clear anybody off the field. out there. He's got his shoulders hunched, waiting for something to come down and hit him. It's a terrible feeling. Well, Roger, I'd go put my helmet on. All right, here's the stretch by Shan. The pitch to Cash is swung at and missed, strike one. On Cash. One out. Maxwell leads off first. Another curve is high this time. Ball 1, 1-1. And all the Yankees are getting off the bullpen bench and coming into the dugout. The fans are throwing things at them as they come in. Out here. Time is called by the plate umpire Al Smith to allow the Yankees to get on the bench. Shan's pitch is popped in the air to short right field. Richardson's moving back under it and makes the catch. That's 2 away. Here's Al Kaline. Kaline is 0 for 3 in this ball game. Slide to right, bounce to third, pop to third. Two out, 2-2 to score. Bottom of the 8th. Maxwell at first. Here's the stretch. Curve is low outside, ball 1. The curve is inside, ball 2, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Here's the stretch. Ball hit through the middle and a base hit. Here's Maxwell around second, digging to third. Handles up with it. Throws the ball into the infield, and Maxwell holds at third base. And Kaline rips the single up the middle. The runners at first and third now with 2 outs, and the batter Rocky Colavito. Rocky flied to center walk and lined into a double play when McDougal made a beautiful play. Here comes Casey Stengel out to the mound. Casey Stengel going out to the mound to talk with Bobby Shan and Elston Howard. Roger Maris again walks in to talk with second base umpire Ed Runge. They're throwing things down at Roger that's not paper and not fruit. Solid object, and you could really get in trouble. And Paparella talking now. Casey's talking with Bobby Shantz with Kaline at first and Maxwell at third. Rocky Colavito is the batter. They're going to leave Bobby in there. Score tied 2-2 in the bottom of the eighth. The stretch by Chance. The pitch to Rocky is a curve over, strike one ball. One strike on Colavito. At first, Maxwell at third with 2 outs. Curve hit, foul outside of third. Picked up by Billy Hitchcock. 0-2 the count. Rocky Colavito. Bobby into the stretch position. Pitch way outside, ball one. High ball 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Score tied 2-2 in the bottom of the eighth. And a wild crowd here today at Briggs Stadium. Here's the stretch by Shan. Pitch, curveball, pop foul, back out of play. Low curve hit in the ground, a big hit. Here's on Maxwell to score. K-Line's going to third. And the Tigers take the lead 3-2 on a 2-out clutch single by Rocky Colavito up the middle. The Tigers get the lead back. Short, he's driven in 1 run. Colavito at first, K-Line at third. Here's the stretch. Ball is over, strike 1 ball. Chance into the stretch position. Ball pop foul out of play and back of the Yankee dugout. Nothing in 2 to count with 2 outs. A wild and woolly ball game. George scored 1 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 1 here in the eighth. Yankees scored 2 in the top of the eighth. Peterson for the fourth on Colavito. But Detroit comes up with a big run in the bottom of the eighth on 3 base hits. No Yankee errors, 2 men left to score at the end of 8 full innings. Detroit 3, the Yankees 2, and we pause for station identification.
On your dial.
Take a look at the scoreboard. All other games are over. Boston defeated Kansas City 4-2. Chicago took a pair from Baltimore, 2-1 in the first game, 14-2 in the second. Washington took 2 from Cleveland, 3-2 the first and 5-3 in the second. In the National League, St. Louis took 2 from the Cubs, 6-0 and 8-1. Cincinnati split with Pittsburgh. The Reds won the first one 6-5, the Pirates the second 5-0. Giants beat the Dodgers 5-4, and Milwaukee beat the Phillies 7-3. In the top of the ninth inning, like the Yankees will have a pinch hitter because the first man due to come up is Bobby Shan. And let's see, it looks like Joe DeMaestri, who pinch hit in the first game and got a base hit, is coming up to bat for Shan. Serve would be the man if he were able to grab a bat, but he got hit, remember, yesterday on his left hand, and is still quite sore, and he can't grip the bat the way he'd like to. DeMaestri singled off the pitcher's glove, pinch hitting in the first game. Joe is batting .250. He's batting .300. He's 2 for 6. All right, here's the windup by Burnside. The pitch to DeMaestri is high outside, ball 1. 3-2. The Tigers are leading. We're in the top of the ninth. Clem Labine loosening up. And now it looks like Hank Aguirre coming up a left hand. Pitches a ground ball, hits a third. Beautiful play by Yost. Throw to first. In time for the out. Holy cow, that Eddie Yost has made 5 or 6 real great plays today. There was a base hit all the way. Fernandez might have gotten to the ball, but he never could have thrown DeMaestri out. And Eddie Yost has really made some sensational plays at third base, as has Cletus Boyer for the Yankees. Here's Gil McDougall. Gil popped out twice, singled and bounced to third. McDougall is in there, strike 1 call. And Gill is arguing with plate umpire Al Smith. Gill is not happy with that call, that's for sure. McDougall, 1 out, nobody on. 3-2, Detroit leads, top of the ninth. Change up is low, ball 1, 1-1. is hit high in the air to right field. Colavito moving over to his left, way back there. Under it, makes the catch. That's two away. Lopez, who singled, bounced to first, sacrificed and struck out the batter. 2 out, nobody on. The pitch is a strike call over the outside corner. Wind up. Pitch is fouled out of play. Strike 2. To the count. Pete Burnside, the left-hander, out on the mound. Giving it everything he's got here. He's got 1 out away from the victory. The windup. The pitch is a ground ball to short. Fernandez up with it. The throw to Cash. The ball game is over. And Detroit sweeps the doubleheader from the Yankees. Winning the first 12-2 in the second game. The Tigers won it 3-2. And while
Pete Callison is getting those totals, we'll just pass along the good word that the doubleheader has been brought to you, portions of it, by the Atlantic Refining Company and your neighborhood Atlantic dealer.
And so it was turnabout, and turnabout is fair play, as the Dodgers shut out the Yankees today 1-0 with